Hey guys, today we are going to install sliding glass bypass doors. These are the contractor grade glass bypass doors that they have at Home Depot, in my store on the shelf, probably in yours too, because I have a very small Home Depot, so if I have them, you probably do too. If you want to install these doors, it's a pretty easy DIY. Since the last time I've installed them, a lot of the brackets and things I had to add were actually already pre-mounted, so this was a really quick install, so let's get to it. If your kit just happens to be the perfect size for your opening, which I've had happen before, you don't need to trim these top and bottom pieces down. But in my case, it wasn't. So instead of just measuring with measuring tape, I just held it up and drew a line and then went and cut the top and the bottom pieces. Then I held the top piece up and made marks so that I could pre-drill my screws to get that top glider into the top position. I put the front of it flush with the front of where my surrounding drywall was. Maybe you'll have trim. Just do what kind of matches the look you're looking for. So I've mounted the top rack. Obviously, you got to do that because it won't hold itself up. But what I do is, rather than using the instructions for this bottom bar, I'm going to get my doors ready and I'm going to get them in place and roll them around a little bit. Make sure I have the up and down that I want, especially because this house is just kind of a little bit out of level because of the age. So I'm going to screw this in at the end once I double check everything with my doors, rather than making a permanent decision with this first. Guys, I am working super hard to grow my channel and to bring you valuable DIY projects for your homes and for your investment properties. So if you're watching this or this has been helpful for you, please take a minute and like this video. And if you want to see more of this, please subscribe to my channel. I'd super appreciate it. Thanks. This is the back of one of the doors. I gotta tell you, the last time I assembled a set of these brackets weren't on, those brackets weren't on. So they've done a lot of the work for us now. They must have had complaints. So you have these little plastic pieces that are gonna glide in that upper bar and just kind of balance. I'm stumped because the instructions look like that little edge goes towards the back. So that's where those little hooks are. But the only way it will fit is if that's toward the front, toward the glass, because that piece fits in there. There's like a little piece of this clear plastic and then it fits over the door. So I'm gonna put these towards the front and see if it works. The next adjustment you have is your wheels, the height based on this screw. If you tighten or loosen it, you can make them almost as short as they'll go or a little bit longer. I have my top pieces on. I know that I'm gonna want these down a bit lower just because of my space in my doors. So I'm gonna lower them just a little bit, but then I'm gonna put the door in place and adjust them all the way. And then they'll be easier to get the door in if it's shorter, the wheels. So just righty to make them go down further, and then lefty if you wanna retract them a little bit. Super easy. One tip I will give you guys is, if you are installing these bypass doors, put your second door you're gonna install inside of the closet, install your first door on the furthermost outside rail, and then install your second door on the interior. But if you get it in there first, it's easier and it's just gonna make things a little bit easier for you guys. I did not do that. So I put my first door in and then I moved it to the front and brought the second door in the side, and it was kind of hard. So I put my door in, I line it up as best as I can. And then what I do is I tighten those screws on the adjustable wheels and raise those plastic pieces up into the guide that goes along the top. You could use a second set of hands for this, but you can balance it with your arms and your legs if you have to. So see how I meant this? You can align, you can get your door the way you want it so you have a consistent reveal, and then you could go ahead and mount this track. Now, the last several ones of these, unless you're getting crazy with these doors, they have a couple spots to screw them in. Because we had to trim one end, we only are gonna have one there, and we're gonna have one here. There was one here, but we had to trim it off because of our door size. So I usually actually don't adhere this piece. You could glue it down, you could screw it down, but unless you're getting wild with these doors, they just slide back and forth. That's not super necessary. And I'm also gonna put trim up to here and trim there, so it's gonna kind of hold it in place. So I'm not gonna screw these down or glue these down, but if you wanted to, you're gonna put that piece of wood they give you in here just to support this, and then you're gonna pre-drill through there and screw or nail, depending on what type of flooring you're working with, and then drill through there and screw in and secure it to the floor. So that's how you would do that step if you chose to.